What do other people think about an INFJ? INFJs are considered to excel at reading other people's strong emotions, anticipating their ideas, and seeing things through their eyes. In many circumstances, this is correct. However, there is one area where many INFJs, including yours truly, believe we have a blind spot. INFJ personalities are the most difficult to find in the world. Other personality types can't help but notice this one-in-a-million alienated individuals who don't seem to care about the system everyone has established. INFJs examine others to acquire a clear and balanced view of them. But what happens if the roles are reversed? What occurs when people analyze the INFJ and their quirks? Are their opinions generally negative or positive? Are they perceived as spacey and unpredictable? Or are they viewed as the compassionate and caring individuals they are? So how do other personality types perceive the INFJ? But before we get started, please keep in mind that we make these videos for free for your entertainment, and all we ask in return is that you like them and subscribe with the notification bell turned on. They believe INFJs are reserved. You knew what was coming, INFJs. There's no denying that an introverted personality type comes out as guarded, secluded, and even a bit antisocial at times. Sure, they can blend in with any crowd and adapt their energy to match that of others, but deep inside, they would much rather keep to themselves. If INFJs could mingle without talking, they would happily observe from a distance, as being a fly in the wall is their preferred social situation. Others have taken notice of this. In some social cases, it may take a few get-togethers before the INFJ even begins to speak up. However, people notice that the INFJ has great respect for personal space and social boundaries. Even though they will usually keep their emotions at a certain distance from others, which comes off as them being a bit more formal throughout their social interactions, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. Despite their restrained demeanor, others often find them to be nice company, and many people feel strangely confident and comfortable enough to be open and honest with them. Do you know an INFJ friend who is reserved and quiet all of the time? Tell us in the comments. INFJs are pensive. Pensive, thinking, and reflective are three qualities that describe the INFJ, who is continuously contemplating, analyzing, observing, and introspecting on life and everything in it. And while their quiet manner does not often encourage them to share their analytical conclusions with others, their deep demeanor is discernible from the outside looking in. They may be seen as staring out into the distance, rehashing old memories, or attempting to connect with people's emotional sides. This introspective and nostalgic spirit is rooted in a modest intensity that hints at the depth they possess. However, without knowing the INFJ's inventive thought processes, this intensity could easily be misinterpreted as intense seriousness, making them appear somewhat harsh and stern, a common misconception. They have grace. Because of all this reserved and pensive energy, people with the INFJ personality type can be seen by others as very graceful and sophisticated individuals. This calm disposition can come off as quite a beautiful appeal, with an essence of mystery depending on circumstance and individual, yet they can transform their demeanor to match others, as we've discussed. They maintain an unshakable poise and civility that is always visible. This allows the INFJ's inner beauty to peek through, allowing others to see how lovely and gracious they truly are. The best thing is that this grace comes with an obvious feeling of acceptance because the INFJ will always show up gracefully, no matter who they're talking to. If you're an INFJ, how much grace do you think you have? People think INFJs are strange. Yes, some regard the INFJ as not normal, and they're not entirely wrong. INFJs are exceedingly unusual and frequently do not relate much to the world or its inhabitants. So it's logical that their dissatisfaction with the world is evident to others, whether it's their serious life questions, their unwillingness to open up about themselves, or simply the fact that there aren't many others like them in the world. Some people leave social contact with an INFJ thinking, what an interesting person. Sure, the INFJ could have been attempting to mirror the other person's energies, Even so, their genuine thoughts and intelligence shines through. INFJs are often well-informed. INFJs may purposely avoid watching the news or reading the newspaper, but being the inquisitive creatures that they are always in the know. They not only know what's happening at every level of their lives, whether it's the latest workplace drama or the status of the world, but they also have an opinion on it. They've examined it from every angle, observed it from every angle, and jumped in headlong to get as close to the truth as possible behind the mayhem. This provides them with both accuracy and a notably non-biased posture, giving others the impression of non-judgmental openness to extending dialogue. And it is the only thing INFJs truly strive for when they interact with others. Ever came across an INFJ who knows about all the news wandering around? Share your experience in the comments. INFJs are mentally strenuous. An INFJ personality type is one that only a few people can tolerate. Some can barely stand them, and the majority cannot stand it at all. Yes, INFJ personalities are complex and fascinating. However, it is dependent on the situation and the personality type of the person dealing with them. Some extroverted people find their frequent overthinking about particular things and an overwhelming variety of topics irritating. Extroverts can't handle J's depth, and all they want is a simple answer so they can go on with their day. Instead, they get an in-depth study of subjects that aren't supposed to be their concern from an INFJ. Simply put, they are psychologically depleted personality types who would never be able to exist in this realm. Do you have any extroverted pals who like you? INFJs are realistic even when they're not acting in the best interest of others. Someone who prefers T may view F preference to be excessively emotive and unreasonable. Other thinking personality types who have thoroughly studied an INFJ may see them as being unusually realistic while being creative dreamers. INFJ personalities are always realistic and rational, even if their definition of logic differs from that of the rest of the world. They know what they're doing because they can see the possibilities that other people don't, and they always place other people's motives in a favorable light. And that alone qualifies other thinking types in all of that. INFJs may teach INTJs, ENTJs, and other thinking types how to walk the tight line between cynicism and realism. INFJs are goal-oriented and unbreakable. There is nothing more obvious that describes an INFJ than this. INFJ personalities are undeniably forward thinkers, and their ambition to achieve seemingly impossible goals in the future expresses itself in their daily behaviors and decisions. While many would claim they have always had their heads in the clouds because they are unduly consumed with their goals and ideals, idealizing world peace and the abolition of discrimination distinguishes an INFJ from all other dreamers. The MBTI personality types that share the same dominant function as the INFJ, particularly the INTJ, can easily relate to them. They both do things and forgo current pleasure in order to get more desirable consequences in the future. Do you have an INTJ friend who is eager to collaborate with you to achieve your goals? They are strict and obstinate. This is one of the reasons why most personality types cannot understand what INFJs desire. They desire to be held accountable for their activities and to be an excellent transformative leader. However, they are simply inept at portraying the character of a follower. This is why other personality types who want to take the lead might make an INFJ kneel down to them and follow their rules. Why? Because SERPs are aware of what they're doing, and they can't change their ideals only to fit in with a social group. Their obstinacy originates from their lofty moral standards and incorrect intuition. They don't need others to tell them what to do. To begin with, they have their own guide. They are impolite and inconsiderate. Firm boundaries are sometimes misunderstood as grumpiness and harshness from an INFJ. If you ever heard of their infamous door slam, you'll understand why the majority despises them. The truth is that this is neither overreacting nor grumpy. INFJs just cannot lower their standards for anyone because these regulations are intended to safeguard them against people who will only disrupt their inner calm when an INFJ refuses to let them in. It indicates that they are serious about severing relations with you and no longer wish to communicate with you. This could be because they felt betrayed, deceived, abused, and exploited. Others are illogical and labeling them as impolite simply because they are underlining their boundaries. They are both analytical and friendly. This is especially appropriate to an INFP's viewpoint of an INFJ. Yes, they're compatible, considering that they're both introverts who like to restrict their exposure to social interactions in order to avoid stressful situations. However, the INFJ is more open about their feelings than the INFP and can understand other people's points of views. Instead of being more analytical, INFPs tend to be more emotional. Furthermore, while INFPs just seek complete control over themselves, INFJs are more concerned with overall control. This is why INFJs are awestruck by how they may use their analytical tendency to be more inviting to others. Their analytical minds assist them in better understanding the preferences of others. And this is something that ENFPs long to learn from an INFJ friend or lover. How friendly are you as an INFJ? INFJs are contradictory. When they have a purpose in sight, they can be incredibly confident and driven, going to great lengths to attain it. At the same time, they can be nervous wrecks full of fear and doubt, frequently questioning themselves. So this was all about what other people think about an INFJ. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and do subscribe to our channel. So as an INFJ, what do you think people think of you upon first meeting you? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.